I'll give them a show such as they've never had before, Feyd-Rautha thought. No tame killing where they can sit back and admire the style. This'll be something to take them by the guts and twist them. When I'm Baron, they'll remember this day. And won't be a one of them can escape fear of me because of this day. Austin Butler, fresh off his turn at playing the king of rock and roll in Baz Luhrmann's biopic Elvis, signed on to fill the role of a nefarious antagonist in Denis Villeneuve's Dune Part 2. Butler was chosen to play Feyd-Rautha Rabban, the charismatic and devious nephew of Baron Vladimir Harkonnen, played by Stellan Skarsgard. The character of Feyd-Rautha was famously portrayed by Sting in David Lynch's 1984 film interpretation. Villneuve teased much more Harkonnen stuff in the Dune sequel, but kept further details close to the vest. However, Butler was more open in discussing his experience working with the accomplished sci-fi filmmaker in this production, and how he prepared to take on the iconic role. In this video, I'd like to break down Austin Butler's comments on his process and journey to become Feyd-Rautha. The tyrannical schemes of the evil Baron Vladimir Harkonnen are central to the plot of Dune. Everyone within the Baron's inner circle are merely pawns to be exploited in his quest for galactic domination, such as his favorite nephew, the attractive and cunning Feyd-Rautha Rabban, who the Baron has chosen as his heir. The Baron favors Feyd over his so-called tank-brain brother Glossu Beast Rabban, as Feyd's ferocity and ruthless ambition is tempered by his cunning nature. Feyd-Rautha was absent from Villeneuve's first film in his two-part adaptation, as the director felt that there were already plenty of characters in the ensemble for Dune Part 1, and he thought it would be more elegant to reserve his introduction for the sequel. For varieties, actors on actors, Butler revealed his intense preparation for the starring role in the Elvis biopic, stating that he didn't see his family for about 3 years, that there were months he wouldn't talk to anyone, and when he did, he was only ever thinking about Elvis and speaking in his voice the whole time. There's no question regarding the actor's dedication to his craft, but in light of his approach towards the role of Elvis Presley, I was even more curious to see how Butler would try to embody the character of the murderous narcissist Feyd-Rautha. First of all, Denis Villeneuve specifically sought out the Elvis actor for this particular role. On the Happy Sad Confused podcast, when asked how Butler got the part, the actor revealed that he miraculously didn't have to audition for Feyd-Rautha, saying, quote, "Denis was in town and Denis asked to meet for coffee. We met for coffee and really hit it off. We talked a lot about how we like to work, we talked about the part and how I would approach it. And he said, I'm going to dream on this. And then he called me a week later and said, I'd like you to join me on Arrakis." Villeneuve has sought out specific actors before to fill out the large ensemble cast for Dune, so this is very much in keeping with the director's process. He obviously saw something in Austin Butler that was in line with his interpretation of Frank Herbert's story. The role of Feyd-Rautha presents vastly different challenges for Butler to bring the antagonist to life, as he had to do a lot of work just to prepare his body for the physicality the role would demand, as Feyd is a formidable warrior. In an interview with the Backstage podcast, Butler said, quote, "For Dune, there were different challenges. There were certain physical things from the first meeting with Denis, knowing what his vision was. I worked with this Navy SEAL guy who trained me for months beforehand just to get my body into a place where it was available to not only be an imposing physical presence, but to do whatever was asked of me." The actor goes on to comment that his training had already started while he was doing press for Elvis for the Cannes Film Festival, saying, "The interesting thing was doing that in the middle of Elvis press. I was doing that until Cannes, and then I was having to do all the press during the day and then train at night. That was a thing I had to manage during Elvis. During Elvis, I could completely eliminate everything in the outside world, and now I had to learn how to do that in the midst of balancing other things. But it's still all that all-encompassing energy. I love living in these other worlds. I just let it consume me." As far as living in these other worlds and being consumed by his roles, Butler then comments how important director Denis Villeneuve was on set as he worked, saying, Deni is so thoughtful, he doesn't miss anything, and his attention to detail is remarkable. Deni is amazing, he's such an incredible director. The energy on his sets is amazing. Everyone trusts him so much, and it's such a well-oiled machine, and he's a master of the craft. I continue to be impressed by the professionalism reported to be on Villeneuve's set, as well as his dedication to ensure his adaptation is worthy of Frank Herbert's universe and mythology. Butler continues his comments regarding the specifics of their approach to the character of Feyd-Rautha, stating that they would really try to dig into the humanity of the character, adding, quote, "It's that thing of the bad guy in the world doesn't feel like he's the bad guy. He feels like he's the hero of his own story. And that can be a hard thing with certain characters. With others, it's easier, but you have to not judge the character, and you have to find a way to feel the motivation towards any one of your actions." So we had a lot of conversations and crafted that together. Like Paul Atreides, Feyd-Rautha is also at the mercy of the agendas of others. Their paths are somewhat mirrored as they work to forge their own destiny apart from what's expected of them. But they are both a product of the houses they were raised in, and within the pages of Frank Herbert's novel, it becomes more apparent how the Harkonnen heir stands in contrast to Paul. Feyd-Rautha is intelligent and charismatic, a devious killer with no sense of honor or morality with his own self-serving agenda. And yet, one can't help but wonder what could have been with the Atreides code to guide him. It certainly has not been an easy task for filmmakers to depict the intricacies of Frank Herbert's characters and to reflect the depth and nuance of the author's writings. Certainly, the apparent thought and care that has gone into Villeneuve's adaptation of Dune has been a significant factor in his attempt to faithfully portray the heir apparent of House Harkonnen. But I'm curious to know what you think of Austin Butler's casting and his approach and preparation in bringing the character of Feyd-Rautha Rabban to life on screen. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you did, and be sure to subscribe for more Dune and other sci-fi and fantasy news and lore. Thank you all so much for your support, and as always, have a very nerdy day.